Hi, I'm Prashant. I'm a developer advocate with Facebook. I'm here today with Luke Wroblewski and Ashley Streb from Polar. So Luke, you began speaking in 2009 about mobile first. In fact, you wrote a book on it where you advocated early on that developers should take a mobile first design approach. What's changed since then?
I think the big thing is I really don't have to advocate for it anymore, right? Like everybody kind of gets that mobile's an important thing right now. And I mean, just look at Facebook, right? 70% of your monthly active users now on mobile. Anywhere you go in the street, someone's got a mobile device in their hand. And because people have recognized the importance of mobile, now we're starting to see people actually design for how people use these devices. So whether you're on the couch in front of the TV with your smartphone in your hand, or whether it's one of those 100+ times where you whip out the phone from your pocket and just check in for a couple minutes, that reality of use is informing design decisions, and people are creating products uniquely for that environment instead of just porting over what they had elsewhere.
So you have a new app called Polar. Tell us a little bit about what it does.
Sure. So it's all about collecting and sharing opinions. You have an opinion, I have an opinion, and sometimes you want to tell me yours even if I don't want to hear it, but we all love to share our opinions, right? And if you look across the web, you look on the internet, the mechanisms for doing that are just abysmal, right? It's forms, it's surveys. As soon as you hear the word form or survey, you cringe. Companies pay you to take these things, and you still don't want to do it, right? The participation rates are low. So we looked at, can we just flip that whole dynamic and make it so much fun that people actually want to do this and enjoy collecting and sharing opinions?
And so that's really how we designed the app, where everything that Luke just said, we're thinking about like that person who's on the train, they've got like a minute before their stop, but they want to quickly interact and have fun sharing their opinion is really how we designed the app. So with a single thumb.
Nails, perhaps, right? Pink,
which is
pink or neon yellow.
I can just scroll through with my thumb holding it, scroll through quickly, big hit states, tap 1, 2, be able to give my opinion on that. So that's really good. And it's really easy then to also go deeper into the app to discover new content. So now we're in car fights and no longer nails, which might be more appropriate for me.
More my thing, but hey, you have lovely nails though.
I appreciate that. And then also, learning new techniques about how to use the app. So if I want to learn here, I can learn tip where like, oh, if I'm not interested in a poll, I can just swipe to skip it. And now, but just by pulling up, as I use the app, I learn that, and now I've learned a new interaction.
Yep. And so same thing with the thumb still on the screen. You were just scrolling, up popped the tip instead of this big intro tour up front, which you see a lot of places. And all you got to do is now move your finger across and say, I'm not interested in Lazy Boys or what have you. And we actually use that same interaction. So if you've gone pretty deep here, you're checking out Donald's hair, or you're deciding whether to go to the Olympics or World Cup, when you've hit a point where you've gone too far and we detect that you're trying to kind of make your way back up to something, so you scroll up with the thumb, we bring that menu back. And so all these interactions are happening with that same dynamic of whether it's vote, 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 whether it's pull up and get tips or pull down and get menu, you haven't really changed your posture.
No, it's a gorgeous app with absolutely exceptional design. So how do you employ Facebook within Polar?
Yeah, so there's a couple different ways that we do that. The first is, when I'm asking these questions and I'm getting opinions, it's really interesting to see a lot of people's opinions. But the people whose opinions I really value and I'm interested in a lot of cases are my friends. And so, for example, like Luke might be asking a question like, what shirt should I wear to Facebook TV? That's a question that he might be asking.
Green.
And then, green. And then there's, other types of like, current real issues that I wanted people's opinions on, like the Boston Marathon. And so it's really important to be able to see my friends and bring them in. And so a great way we were able to use Facebook to bring our friends in is by connecting to Facebook, can see all of my friends who are on Facebook who are also on Polar, and now by connecting to Facebook, when I go to a poll, I can actually see my friends' votes, and opinions separated out from everybody else's.
Now, what have you learned in the process of using Facebook?
Sure. So there's a couple of different things that we've learned. One of the things I'd say is like really important is as you're going to do an integration, think about all the edge cases and really spend a lot of time on the details. It's really easy to just get a connection going where you're pushing content out to Facebook, for example. But think about the circumstances where somebody's credentials are no longer valid in their settings on their iOS 6, or think about that they've removed your app from the Facebook site, and handle those circumstances, because that's really important to have a great user experience and help direct the user to resolve those issues.
There's a lot of stuff happening in sort of the back end, if you will, to make the front end look simple and easy to use and fun, right? So we'll handle all the tough stuff so that you can have fun and enjoy using the app.
Awesome.
And yeah, I mean, the other thing that I'll mention, I'm sure you hear this a lot, but is the Open Graph has been very successful for us in terms of just publishing content out. We can see where people see it. Are they seeing it in their feed? Are they seeing it in the timeline? And then actually, how many people see it, but then also like click on it to take on an action. And so that's really good, and we love having the control over how that is presented in the Open Graph. So being able to change the language on the fly is, in some ways, magical, and being able to see the effect of that. So it's been great.
That's fantastic. It's a beautiful app. It's available in the App Store today. Luke, Ashley, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you.
Pleasure.